This is where we stayed last night, the Bob Scott Memorial Hut. It's a welcome sight after a pretty grim afternoon. I wasn't the happiest camper when we got here.
You were not.
But we had it to ourselves. It's dry, warm, comfortable, and always good in the world after some food. So we're on the road again. Probably our last camp tonight. One more night in the hills. Onwards. So it's just left the Bob Scott's Memorial Hut. We had a pretty comfortable night, although we got there, didn't get there till 10. By the time I'd eaten, it was like well after 11. So didn't get the early night I'd hoped for. Starting to feel a bit tired now. It's been a hard few days. I think we're camping tonight. I don't know if there's any bothy where we're going. Yeah, it's a bit of rain forecast for later, so maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't, but the aim now is to get to Blair Atholl and maybe get some lunch there and see where it goes from there. So this should be the penultimate day of our trip. I think if we do a solid day today, we'll be within touching distance of doing it on Wednesday, finishing on Wednesday. It's Tuesday today, so Wednesday evening probably. Anyway, let's see what the day brings. Hopefully it's a less frustrating day than yesterday, because that was pretty grim yesterday afternoon. So we're just come off the big track, heading through the woods, going back down to the River Dee, and a bit of a track that we rode the other day on the outer loop, taking us up to the Red House Bothy. This is very nice. It's been a pleasant first half hour of the day. Nice trails. So we're back at the Red House Bothy. We're going to turn off left just 100 metres back and go up Glen Tilt, but we're just going to stop here and have a little rest for a minute. Bit of a sense of deja vu really. We're only here a couple of days ago, done a lot of miles since then. So we just had a pleasant hour in the Red House Bothy. Met a couple who were also bikepacking. They're having a rest day and staying there. They made us a coffee, which was really nice. We had a slight comedy moment with a fly, a flat fly, which we thought might be trying to get us, but I'm pretty sure it went outside. Another ford to cross. Crossed a lot of fords the last few days. We met a D&V assessor who was saying that this track is not too bad. We were dreading the worst after yesterday, so fingers crossed it should be okay. He said the trails are good, so we shall see, but positive.
Hopefully no flat flies up here.
So we're at the high point of this part of the ride. Got a descent down into Blair Atholl now. As you can see, the weather is pretty minging again. It's been raining for a while, but at least the tracks are rideable, that's the main thing. Quite a technical trail this bit, which is good. We like that, but it's been mostly rideable, which is good. Oh, it's a very pretty bridge. Wasn't expecting to see that. Wow. So we just come across this little suspension bridge, and I think this waterfall is fairly well known for, Glen Tilt is known for it. It's nice. Certainly the weather for it. There's Matt. It's been a great glen, this one. I've enjoyed it. A bit slippery and a bit wet, but all in all a good one. Been a good day so far. Yeah, they're nice falls. I think if it was a sunny, hot day, probably be tempted to go for a little dip in there, but I'm wet enough as it is at the moment. Well, you may have remembered a few days ago we found the Holy Grail trail cheese on the trail, free, and we're now gonna
test our luck,
sacrifice it for ourselves. The best cheese is free trail cheese by the waterfall. Well, we're going cinematic on this one.
I mean, it is the trail cheese, so it's got to be worth something special.
Look at that. Well, this is a lovely bit of the glen. The glen looks spectacular with the river falling through it on our left. It's so straight here. Probably worth, I'd like to come back and see this on a nice day actually. Very beautiful. Just remarking on how straight this river is here. It's quite amazing. It's obviously a Roman river. These Romans like things straight. As you can see, we're onto the double track again now. So a bit quicker going. So we kind of exited Glen Tilt, which has been spectacular, although really, really wet. It's been absolutely hammering it down for hours. Got a little bit cold back there. It's quite windy as well, headwind. But it was a beautiful glen, and the riding was pretty good. Pushed a couple of bits. I'd like to ride it again someday without the bag, for sure. So we're now heading down to Blair Atholl to get some food, dry out, get some reception and get some internet, and check the weather and work out what our plans are, whether there's a bothy to head to or not. It's pretty damp and we're very wet, so...
And we'll be tomorrow morning as well, possibly.
Yeah, so we just need to make a plan, I think. Well, I think we're pretty close to Blair Atholl now. Smell the food, taste it. It's going to be good. Certainly earned it today, although we're not finished for today yet. Hungry, hungry, hungry. Feels like we're nearly there. Great estate we've just come through. And bingo, there we go.
Oh, there's more already. Shit, this is the A9. Blair car.
Not Tony Blair. Oh, we've seen Brown's Bridge, haven't we? Gordon Brown's Bridge and Tony Blair's castle. Well, we've just had a nice, well, I had a burger and chips in the bothy bar in Blair Atholl. Yeah, dried out a bit and not feeling cold now. Got a brand new fresh pair of gloves on and my hands feel lovely and warm. Feel quite full, very happy day. So I think we've got about another 15 miles to get to the camp spot. And that leaves us with about 25 to do tomorrow, so that'll be pretty easy. It's supposed to be drying up now as well. I think there's a bit of rain late tomorrow morning, so we'll probably get a bit wet again, but should be done by early afternoon, I think. So yeah, let's see where we can find to camp tonight. Oh, it's kind of nice to be on tarmac for a few miles and go a bit faster. We just stopped at the Falls of Brewer gift shop and got some drink for tonight, so all is good. So we've come off the road, just hitting this cycle track, which we'll be on now for a while, I think. We're going to try and find somewhere to camp up here. So yeah, it looks good. A surface cycle track, so happy days. So we're on this absolutely lovely cycle track, which is about as smooth as it gets. So we're on here for, I don't know, 6-7 miles, I think. Then we're going to turn off and find somewhere to camp for the night. Just bought a steak and ale pie for us to share later. So yeah, good. It's been a bit of a funny old day, pretty grim in many ways, but not like yesterday where we could actually ride. So it just feels, you know, the rain is the rain, isn't it? Can't do much about it. But we had a trail that we could actually ride, which was really nice. Yeah, good spirits really, and feel quite fresh still. Best cycle track ever.
Surreal.
We have a whole lane each. No cars. Woo! So we're still going on the best cycle path ever. No cars, no nothing. Brilliant. So we've been climbing up from the A9 for a while. Across the A9 a few miles back. And we're near our camp spot now. Just going to get over the top of this hill. Just looking for should be a little stream coming off somewhere up here. And I think that's our camp spot. So anywhere around there. Both pretty.
We're going to cross the river at a ford. I think it's probably there.
Cool. So water is all we need, and then we can camp. Both pretty tired, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a funny old day. Great riding, great landscapes, but wet. But much better spirits than yesterday.
Oh, no, it's pretty cool.
Well, yesterday.
Yeah, didn't feel too bad. I was happy to see the end. I don't think the pushing was frustrating. I don't think I was quite as frustrated as you. I don't have a nice carbon bike to bag on stones.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that. I was just thinking of
how unrideable it was.
Yeah. I'm up for a bit of pushing, but not for hours. So, just a little bit of a quick sort of recap of where we are. We kept cycling from Blair Atholl for about 15-20 miles along a great cycle track, and then turned up this glen, and this is our camp spot. We kept going until we found somewhere reasonably flat and with some water actually, so this is as good as we could get. I think the weather is iffy tomorrow again, but not heavy rain, and maybe brighter later, but we should be finished by the afternoon. We've only got about 30 miles ish, 35 to do, so yeah, so we should be able to get that done by the afternoon, and that'll be it done. So see you tomorrow.